Hello YouTube, this is Mightymuffin with another episode of my Let's Play. As you can see, I'm here at my Ender. I've added 2 more floors to it, which is giving me much better rates. I think the math says I can fit 21 levels into here before I hit the 128 block height. As you can see, I've started on my Ender Pearl chest area. I'll probably have to put a few of these in here, just because you get so many Ender Pearls. I wish there were more purposes for them than teleporting and Ender chests. Because after you've located the end, that's basically the only purpose for them. I've gotten a couple new enchants. I want to get Unbreaking on this before I actually use it. I might sacrifice one of these efficiency picks just to put the Unbreaking on the Silk Touch. I've replaced my looting sword that I destroyed in my stupidity, dying building this Ender. And this is going to be a placeholder for a anvil. I'm not sure if it's going to be here or back against the wall. I'll probably put chests in here to hold enchanted books and gear that is good but not quite ready yet. Like swords with just looting, or pickaxes with just I have one in here, just efficiency 4. Things like that need to be combined with other items before I want to use them. As you can see, I have a slight issue with my Enderman teleporting everywhere. I haven't put water streams up yet. I'll do that eventually so that no Enderman will teleport outside of the pad. Because as it is right now, up there's a pretty popular place for Endermen to teleport up to. But fortunately, any Enderman down here is a one-shot kill anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But I am probably going to get... I'm out of diamonds, which is why I'm pretty much done here for now. I'm going to get myself up to level 30 again, so that next time I get near an anvil, I can combine this Silk Touch pick with one of my Unbreaking picks. Because I am extremely low on resources and need to visit my mine shaft. And I would very much like to have a Silk Touch pick to play with for that. Just so I can collect up coal and other things like that in that way, instead of having to collect it. So I will see you again once you'll see me again once I've finished getting to level 30 and I've made my way back to the real world. So I'm back in my storage room and I've been playing around with the ceiling a bit. I'm using stone brick half slabs here just because it happens to be what I have an abundance of at the moment. I plan on switching these out for something or putting some kind of pattern in. I'm not quite sure yet, but this is just to help me get a feel for the layout. I'm thinking something along these lines, where at this point where these two sections meet, it becomes flat. And that would give me a more open feeling for this room. It would also give me more arc to throw Ender Pearls. So I think I could be all the way over here and with an Ender Pearl get myself to the other side with one throw if I do it this way. That wasn't the reason I wanted to set it up like this. It was just a happy coincidence that I realized. I kind of like this vaulted look, and this tiling for the corners here worked out well. I definitely need to change up the block type though. I'm just not sure what I'll use. Maybe I'll put some nether brick slabs in there. I don't know. I'll see once I've actually cleared this area out enough to put the rest of the room in, and then I'll get some other materials up and see what they look like. Well, I've been at it a little bit. As you can see, I've cleared out the space. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with the roof here. I tried putting nether brick here, it just looked weird. Although I'm not sure this looks much better. It could grow on me, I don't know. Problem is, if I make that all sandstone, I think it looks weird too. But since I have 3 other sides to work with, I'll probably do a one of each side and see what I like. I might use this strip as my color code to tell me which section I'm heading towards. That might work nicely. I'm not overly fond of sandstone. If they would make this sandstone like the smooth sandstone slabs in the half slab form, that might be nice, because then you wouldn't have this textured bottom side, which I don't like. I could grab some quartz and see what that looks like. That might be interesting. I think I'll try that too. I haven't played with quartz at all yet. Well, I've pretty much finished the roof. I'm not sure I like everything about it, but it seems to work pretty well. It's kind of dark in here, but since everything's either a half slab or a stair, with the exception of these little spots that don't have chests in them, but they have torches, so it doesn't matter. The only place I really need to worry about mobs spawning is this center spot here, but it's a BL of 9, so it doesn't matter. Now all I need to do is get each of these designed, because I've only done that one so far. And since I went with a uniform scheme for the roof, I hate bats. Oh, he's in the ceiling. Since I decided to go with a uniform design for the ceiling here, I'm going to have to go with a different design for each of these sections so I can identify them at a glance. That way I don't end up going to multiple ones trying to get to a specific block. Oh, I believe I need to get some final chests put in and work on the ceilings for these sections over here. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with these little awkwardly shaped corners yet. I know part of a slime chunk is in one of them, so I might in the future go and figure out exactly where that slime chunk is and build myself a slime farm. Not that I need one, but it would be amusing. A slime farm would interfere with a dark tower though, so I'm not sure if I'll do that or if I'll just completely close off that slime chunk so that no slimes can spawn in order to increase the spawn rates on the dark tower I plan on building. And I still need to finish this room back here so I can finally close this off. And I need more sugarcane. I'll probably go in that direction and just build 2 more of these and see if that gives me enough sugarcane to compensate for the fact that sugarcane seems to grow much slower than pumpkins. If not, I can always build more sections. I've actually disabled the egg portion for the time being, simply because I have a huge amount of eggs, and it's not actually disabled. Actually, it might be full up by now, but the way I did it was a fairly large room instead of making all the chickens exist within each other. Oh, come on. So they're all sitting on hoppers, and these hoppers are still capable of holding eggs. I just didn't want to deal with them filling up all my inventory spots down there. I might devise some kind of wire mechanism that just has a lever in the future that sits here or something that all I have to do is flick it and it'll turn off the egg dropper. Or I might just kill some chickens to try to get the egg rate to be equal to the pumpkin rate and the sugarcane rate. If I can ever get those all synced up, I'll be able to just make a massive supply of pumpkins, not that I have a small supply to begin with. And I will never have to worry about food again. I don't at the moment, but I want to optimize it so that I stop having 30 stacks of pumpkins in excess. I'll probably designate this entire wall here to eggs and sugarcane and pumpkins in the future. I'll rearrange this water line that's right here and build a mini sorting chamber over there so that it splits them off and puts, like pumpkins in these two stacks and sugarcane in these two stacks and eggs in the one that goes here and the one that will be here. I don't know, something like that. Because it's not like I'm lacking in storage with this design. And the other thing, it's actually not too hard to get from one section to the other. I didn't even need a roof this high, but I kind of like this vaulted look. I might change the roof in the future, I don't know. And I still need to line these passageways. I might line them with different materials so I can see pretty quickly if I'm looking at the downshoot or the upshoot. Or I might change the square around one of them to be something different so you can just tell by looking at the roof if I'm looking at the up path or the down. So I've gotten the 8 Cloves roofs put on. I decided to keep with the color scheme, and I used the 3 colors I used for the roof here for 3 of them. Unfortunately, since I only used 3 colors, that left me with something to do with the 4th one. I actually think I like this a little more. I'm not sure I'll use lapis, but once I get the materials to do so, put like diamond, gold, iron, and redstone blocks and replace all of these blocks with them. I'm not sure. The blue is certainly quite identifiable though. These two I'm not sure should be side by side. I might switch the lapis and the crystal, the quartz, sorry. blocks just so that the quartz and the sandstone sections aren't directly next to each other. Although, now that I say that and think about it, it might be easier to identify them quickly. I don't know. I'll have to see if they get me mixed up or not, because at this angle they're both fairly similar at a glance. Looking at it like this, they're clearly different, but if I'm just spinning around looking for the right color, it might get confusing. I'll have to find out. Obsidian might be a good color, or a good block to use for one of these too, I'm not sure. So I decided to take a quick break from my mob farmer. I don't know why these keep doing that. They shouldn't be able to survive that fall with that much health, but oh well. I started planning out my dark tower, but ran into a couple of issues with how I wanted them to land and decided that I'll take a break and do some XP farming. Unfortunately, that break turned into a rather long marathon. Which ended up giving me a full set of Protection 4 and Breaking 3 gear. And as soon as I get a Silk Touch, I'll be able to enchant these shears. Which is probably a little bit of overkill, much like my Ender Pearl storage facility here. And you can see that I've gone ahead and put waterways above more of my area here. But I think I've enchanted over 100 books now. I've burned a lot of them because this Power 5 bow I used Power 3 books for. Same with the Efficiency 5 here, I used Efficiency 3s, because I'm not using level 30 enchants, those are a waste. For Unbreaking I used level 24, which has the same chance of giving me Unbreaking as a level 30 enchant, but requires 6 less levels. And now that I've gotten all of those I need, I'm using level 16 enchants, because they give a 1.1% chance for Silk Touch, just like level 30, but I require 14 less levels to do it. Also used up a huge amount of my food, and for some reason I'm having more Endermen than usual get down here with one hit. Well, I'm probably going to sit here for a ridiculous amount of time trying to get my Silk Touch shears to complete my ensemble of ridiculous time waste. I think that's going to be the official name I give it. I also have 6 plus double chests of ender pearls now, which is kind of handy because now I will never run out of ender pearls again. After I fill up this little column here with ender pearls, I'll probably just start pitching them off the edge. This one I intend for things like enchanted books and other enchanted stuff, and probably put a food farm in here eventually, and I'll use this column for that as well. But my ender area is well underway. I still need to go ahead and put a roof and walls and a minecart track on the pathway to get out here, but it's functional. I'll worry about the roof and walls later. I'm thinking I'll use nether brick and glass primarily. Maybe another line of obsidian for the ceiling, I don't know yet. That's pretty much what I spent the entire weekend doing, enchanting really too many books. So I guess I'll be back once I have that Silk Touch enchant, or get sick of trying to get the Silk Touch enchant and go back to working on my Dark Tower. Okay, so I came back from the Ender Farm. I gave up on Silk Touch for now. I did manage to get Respiration 3 on that helm. Not actually wearing any of that set because, well, I don't want to waste it. I went to all that effort of creating it and don't want to break it on random crap mobs. And this is what I've come up with for my trap. It's set up with trip lines there that trigger and close these trap doors when something falls through them. Just long enough for that something to smack into them and die. It's going to lose a little efficiency because there's open spaces here, but I really didn't know what to do about that beyond let it happen. But that's my solution. These trip lines are actually running all the way across, so if something falls on this side, that side will open as well. That's not really a problem even if the doors are stuck open for quite a while, because eventually they'll have a break, the items will fall down into the rivers that'll be right on top of that cobblestone there and flow into this central channel. Doing it like this because I want to have, I'll start with 2 towers, but I plan on being able to just go this direction and add more towers at my leisure. All I have to do is every 8 blocks increase the space, or make this entire channel made out of ice on the bottom and use signs. That way I won't have to change levels. And I'm doing this just because it saves me a lot of resources. Otherwise I'd have to put a million pistons. Oops. Or not pistons, sorry. Hoppers everywhere. And this way all I have to do is use 2 hoppers at the end of the central channel. Those are staggered because there's a redstone right there, and I can't have that like that because these 2 redstone will interfere with each other if I put one, say, on a block here. So the solution was pretty easy. I just stagger them slightly. Oops. Okay, we have the falling area pretty much set up. All I have to do is add some rivers. That's pretty straightforward. And set up a collection area. But I think I'm going to clear out some space above and start building the spawn towers. Well, that is a concern. I just tossed a stack of cobblestone down here from up there, and it looks to me like more cobblestone's landing on the ledge there than it is falling down below. Which is unfortunate, to say the least. So I'm going to have to rethink this design. I might just have to bite the bullet and use hoppers. And then for here, I could put a dropper right there that's all the items are constantly streaming into from the hoppers, and it's constantly kicking items out into a stream of water. I might do that. It would save me some effort because then I wouldn't have to line the central channel with hoppers. But it would still cost me 16 hoppers per side. It takes, what, 5 iron to make a hopper? A little over a stack of iron. That's really not too bad. Stack and a quarter. So 2.5 stacks to complete this first pair of towers. Not to mention every spawn pad up top is going to require 1 iron for the piston. But wouldn't be too bad, and it would fix this issue of items getting stuck on the trapdoors. Well, I'm probably going to go with that solution and wipe out all of this redstone and string nonsense that doesn't work very well to begin with. So I'll be back once I've done that and finished this first area so I can get spawn pads started. Okay, so I've been at this a while. That's actually the ceiling. If I poke through here, it's outside. I've gotten my tower tall enough to reach the surface, which makes things a little more convenient. Unfortunately, I put that ceiling there because I'm in the middle of a lake, which means I've washed this area out way too many times, just trying to deal with it. But the system works just like the one in the Ender Farm. Something will spawn on the pad, get pushed off, and then plummet to its death. I've gotten 4 levels, I believe. Oops. Well, I'm dead. Or not. Boy, I love feather falling boots. Let's try this again. Let's see, this is the next floor. I'm actually just testing all these to make sure that I didn't miss one of the washed out areas. I'm destroying these because I plan on accessing the tower from the surface from now on. Which means I get to close this up a bit. I'll need to patch that hole over there, but I think this tower can actually start producing goods now. Have I missed a torch yet? Nope. I'm ignoring that coal because I have more of that than I ever need. Well, that pretty much wraps up this episode. I've probably gone a little too long and we'll have to edit it down a bit. But, oops, not quite. But, as always, any comments on how I can improve my videos is very much appreciated. And I will see you next time. Bye.